Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the iBUG Buzz. This is episode number 526. My name is Brad Snyder, and along with Sandhya Rao, we are your co-hosts for this event this evening. The iBUG Buzz is an open forum discussion where we talk about all things iOS. That includes your iPhones, your iPads, your iPod Touch. We might even talk about the Apple Watch and the Apple TV, but we do stick to the iOS universe. That includes hardware, software, peripherals, accessories, all kinds of stuff, but we stick to iOS. This call is being recorded and eventually will be not only on the iBUG Today website for future reference, but will also be released as a podcast that you can access via your podcast player of choice or via a smart speaker by asking your smart speaker to play iBUG Buzz. And you can do the same thing when searching for it in your podcast player of choice. As I said, since we're recording this, we'd like to get as clean a recording as possible. So we ask everybody to stay on mute unless you are speaking. If you would like to speak, you unmute yourself and state your name, and either myself or Sandhya will call on you as soon as we get through with whoever's speaking. But we ask you to not interrupt when someone's talking, wait for a little pause and state your name, and then be patient. Since what we do is ask you to stay muted and unmute yourself as necessary, let me go over how to do that. If you're using a smartphone app, the Zoom app on your smartphone, either an iOS device or even an Android, should you be of that persuasion, you will find a mute button in the lower left corner of the screen. It will say mute or unmute, depending upon what that thing will do when you tap on it. It is a toggle. So the same button unmutes and mutes. If you're joining us tonight on a Windows PC, you will use Alt-A to unmute. If you're joining us on a Mac, it's Command-Shift-A. And if you're joining us by dial-in telephone, you'll use *6 to mute and unmute. We do not use the raised hand, as I mentioned, so you don't have to worry about that. Like I said, we just ask you to state your name and we'll call on you. I think that covers all of the do's and don'ts and all of those kind of things. So how about I hand it off to Sandhya for some announcements.
All right, Brad, thank you. Okay, so we got another busy week, Brad. Here we go. So today we're doing the iBUG Buzz, as you are all here. Tomorrow, if there are any residual questions, you can come to Clubhouse from 5 to 6 p.m. Central, and we do the whole thing again on that platform for about an hour. And then, well, all times that I'm going to mention are Central Time. And then in the later that evening back here on this same Zoom conference line, we're going to be doing Mac and Talk, talking about all things related to your Mac, whether I should get a Mac, whether I should keep my Mac, whether all kinds of questions like that. So please come for that from 7 to 8:30 on the same Zoom conference line. Then we are off on Wednesday, take a little breath, and then we start off on Thursday. We have It's iBUG's Life back here on Zoom from 6 to 8 p.m. And there we will be talking about cleaning, spring cleaning. How perfect, right? Yes, I love cleaning. It's part of my OCD, it's therapy. So come and let's check out how we can clean our house. Then on Friday, we'll have It's iBUG night at the virtual movies. And for the big reveal, what we're going to be watching, that will happen at the halftime point of this call. So stick around for that, and please hope you'll participate in guessing the clues. Then on Saturday, we have iBUG Apple Workshop from 2 to 4. Central Time again on the Zoom conference line. And we've got some new presenters. I am super excited. So come and hear what they have to say and support them. And we are just really excited for everybody that steps up and helps us out. So thank you to them ahead of time. All right. And then our social media, we have a website, ibugtoday.org, ibugtoday.org. That's the best place to get all the information about our upcoming events. You can subscribe, register. It's all free. And that way you'll get notifications of all upcoming events. Let's see, we have a Facebook page, facebook.com/group/iBug today. You can post questions or help answer questions. You'll get a multitude of answers if you do post questions between these various training sessions. Also, Twitter @iBug today. There's lots of information. Our Twitter master is tweeting out, and we're so grateful for all that good stuff. So definitely follow iBug today. And let's see, we have a mentoring program, and there we match people up. If you're a beginner user and trying to figure out how to learn your iPhone, we will match you up with one of our amazing advanced users, and they will get you on your way. It is a 12-week program, and it is also free. And right now we have cleared up our backlog. So if you've been contemplating getting a mentor, or maybe you know somebody that, you mentioned it and they're like, yeah, I think I need a mentor. Well, this would be a great time to fill out that application, help them out, or if they need help. Anyway, the application is on our website under the training tab. So please take advantage of that. We are here to serve. And then how exciting, we have our drawing for a $500 gift card to the Apple Store. And, we are a nonprofit. So this would be helping our, it's a fundraising effort. And so it's $10, a donation of $10 will get you a chance for that gift card. Or you can improve your chances with $50 and you'll get 6 tickets. All right, Brad, those are all the announcements. Oh, and we will announce the winner. You need not be present to win, and that will be at our May anniversary meeting. All right, thank you, Brad.
All right, thank you, Sandhya. Great job on those announcements. Now what we like to do is give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you are. And if this is your first time joining us, or this is your first time joining us on this call, we definitely want to know that. So please out yourself that way so we can recognize you. So let me get things started. My name is Brad, and I am in Dallas.
Jody in New Hampshire.
Hey, Jody.
Abraham in Massachusetts.
Hey.
Chanel in Houston.
Hey, Chanel.
Sabrina in Atlanta. Sorry.
Hey, Bridget. Who else we had there?
You have Sabrina and Claudia. Okay.
Sabrina and Claudia. All right. Welcome to both of you.
Marty, Philadelphia. First time this week.
All right.
Sharon in New York.
Hey, Sharon. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
This is Wilson in New Jersey. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Who else we got?
Thomas Hutchinson, Grand
Houston.
Junction, Colorado.
Hey, Thomas, and I didn't hear the other one.
Herbie.
Of course.
Greg from a stormy Central Texas.
Yeah, you and me both. Welcome, Greg.
Arlene, North Carolina.
Hey, Arlene.
Sri from Virginia.
Hey, Sri. Welcome. Well,
Sandhya in Houston.
Yeah, all right. Maybe that's everybody then. All righty. Well, what we like to do is give anyone who's new to the call or new to using their iOS devices the opportunity to get their questions answered first. So do we have anyone who'd like to lead us off?
Well, this is Sandhya.
Yes.
I think we had somebody new that has been to other meetings, but I'm not sure if he's been here before.
Okay.
Vincent, have you been here before on a Monday night? Put him on the spot. Well, okay, or maybe not. You have to
Okay.
unmute if you're speaking.
Yeah, if you unmute, if you are here, there's a got it button you may have to hit because like I said before, we are recording this call and Zoom likes to make sure you acknowledge that you know you're being recorded.
I am unmuted now.
All righty. There
I
you
had
are.
walked away. Yes, it is my first time. I'm fairly new to the technology, voiceover technology. I only started about a year and a half ago, so I'm still in the very steep learning part of the curve, which I'm sure will continue to be steep.
We are here to help. Do you have any questions? Anything you'd like to ask? Maybe get us started tonight. Maybe tell us what kind of device you have.
Well, I use I have an iPad. I think it is the 4th generation. I got it a year ago, I believe, or something. I use an SC20 iPhone, and I think it's like about a 15-year-old iMac, which is now giving me issues in connecting and being able to access some of the programs. So may have to do without. But the one that I'm pretty much sticking with and finding it more and more relevant is the iPad. That's what I try to use to access most of the applications, all the items that I need to be in touch with, financial, whatever. And that's my focal point. In the beginning, I was trying to learn both iOS and the operating system for the Mac, and I was totally confused. So the one item that I would like to hear about is more about keychain and how I can use it. I have I don't know, several dozen programs that I access where I have to input my username and password, and I would like to put them in a central location other than the USB cartridge that I use just to keep track of that, and whether I could just, well, what the process would be for incorporating those passwords and those usernames and passwords into keychain.
Okay, well, it's a number of things. Let's see if we can get started on some of it. Who knows how Vincent can get started using keychain to help him out with his passwords? He's never used it or enabled it before. Does anyone?
This is Herbie.
Herbie.
So you can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm going to keep it brief because we actually have an iBUG cafe that we recently did on passwords, which includes 1Password and keychain. But in real brief, you want to make sure that it's on in your iCloud settings and make sure all your devices are signed into the same iCloud account and that keychain is on for each one. That's kind of important. I think it turns on. I think once you turn it on in the cloud, it activates on all your devices. And your device also has to be password protected or fingerprint protected or Face ID. It has to be. It can't just be the unsecure mode where you unlock your phone. So you have to have a password on your device. And then when keychain, it will store all your passwords that you give it. And you can create new manual entries or whenever you log into an app or a Safari, keychain will ask, do you want to save the password? If you're in a field where you're creating a password, it will ask if it can generate a strong password for you. And the field that pops up can sometimes look a little different depending on the site you're on. Sometimes it's a pop-up And then, well, to like when you want to use keychain to log in, so like on some sites, you can immediately double tap on the username and keychain immediately pops up. Other sites, you have to do a little bit of hunting and pecking. It just depends, like I said, on the site. But that, in a nutshell, is how keychain works.
Okay, thank you very much. What about those programs where they have a second method in addition to using the username and password? They will send a text.
This is Herbie.
Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
What I have seen, at least in Clubhouse, and I don't know about other apps because I have not had to do that kind of authentication with anything else like that recently. But what I have seen from apps, at least from Clubhouse, is a paste from messages. So what it does is like on Clubhouse, you log in, you get a verification code. But if I swipe right, I get a paste from messages and I double tap that and that automatically inputs the code that was sent to you into the edit field. And that's not a keychain function. That's just an iOS function. I don't know if that is per app or if that's all of iOS. If anybody else knows, that would definitely be good information. But keychain that's not a keychain function. I can definitely tell you that.
Thank you.
This is Marty.
Yeah, Marty, go ahead.
I believe that what you're talking about, the messages with the code, I think that either comes up if you have two-factor authentication, or if you are sometimes using, if someone else is maybe helping you with an app or something, and they're trying to sign into it because they're signing on with a different device, you would get a text message with a verification code, which they would have to put in on their device so they could continue logging into your login on that app.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I'll experiment.
All right. Yeah, all right. Very good. Very good. Well, hope that helps you get going. Get going on that, Vincent.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
it. All right. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us this evening. Hope you become a regular. Okay, who else got the next question for us? Get the ball rolling.
Okay, this is Sandhya. We're getting some background noise. So if you have a question, you need to be in a quiet place, please, because I hear background noise already. Okay, so thank you.
Right.
Bridget Dozier.
Yes, Bridget, welcome.
Thank you. I have a basic question because I'm just learning the iPhone. I have a 10, but it seems like every time they do an update, it changes the platform and it gets even more confusing. And I see Wednesday on Board Mobile, they're going to do some work. So when they do stuff like that, where can you find out how to continue using it?
Okay, who can help Bridget out
This
with
is
this
Jody.
request? Okay, Jody, go ahead.
Yeah, as far as Bard goes, you probably won't notice any difference after they are finished working on it. But during the time that they're working on it, you're not going to be able to download books or anything like that. So if there's any books you want to get, I suggest that you do it before they work on the system. And then, I think from the sound of it, the update that they do is going to make things easier to you rather than more difficult. So I wouldn't worry about the update on the Bard app.
This is Chanel.
Yeah, go ahead, Chanel.
Yeah, so at least in my experience, even when they do those updates, I'm still able to listen to the books I have on my phone, which is really great. That message might just pop up every now and then, but if you swipe right, and I forget what the thing is that, to kind of okay, it might be okay or yes or whatever, and just double tap and that'll dismiss or get it gone from your screen, and then you can go back to listening to the book you were listening to. So hope that's helpful.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope that helps you out, Bridget.
Yes.
All right. All right. Who's next?
Thomas in
Waiting.
Grand Junction.
Yes, sir, Thomas. How
All
are you
right.
this evening?
I'm doing very well, actually. Been working, and I've applied for 2 other jobs in the assistive technology field, one for the state of Colorado, and so I'm doing well.
This is
Anyway.
Sandhya. Hang on, Thomas, your audio is kind of hard to understand.
Yeah,
so,
you're breaking up a little bit.
yeah.
Let me fix that, and I'll come back.
Okay. all right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Who'd like to go next? Well, we're waiting on Thomas to fix his audio.
Well, how about this? Does this sound better?
Much better, Thomas. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I was using a Bose Soundware, and I don't think the microphone on those things are very good. Anyway, so here's my question. I've never had an Apple TV box. I'm not really a TV person, but I really think because people say that the way to go is an Apple TV box. And it doesn't look too hard to set up. It's just a box and a cord. Once I do that, would I use my iPhone to set the thing up, or is there a cafe or a workshop that I can go listen to see how to set it up?
Great
Thomas is done speaking.
question. Who can help Thomas with his getting set up his Apple TV? You have any Apple TV experts out there tonight? Well, I
Hearing
guess
none,
not.
it looks like it'll be one of those blind experiments.
Yeah.
But
Well-
I'm not too worried about it. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Well, I wish we had somebody who was experienced with it. Maybe we will later on in the call.
Well, maybe once I do it, then I can come on here and tell people how to do it.
Exactly.
All
This
right.
is Sandhya.
You're
Thomas?
welcome. Yes, Sandhya.
Yeah, I mean, I have an Apple TV. I haven't used it very much, but it's pretty, I mean, I hate it when people say it's pretty straightforward. Well, I mean, I just, it's been so long since I've set it up, but I mean,
Right.
it's a matter of, the standard things, logging in with your Apple ID and, typing in stuff. I mean, that's the hard
So-
part.
This is
So
Herbie.
I guess here's my question.
Yep.
This is Thomas speaking. So in the settings, there's one for Apple TV remote. Do you set it up through that on your phone?
This is Shree.
Yeah.
Hang on, Shree. Let's
Yeah,
go
I don't
with
remember.
Herbie.
Let Shree.
Let's go with Herbie, and then we'll go with Shree.
So I was thinking about something. So I don't have an Apple TV, but I remember on our Clubhouse call a few weeks ago, somebody mentioning how they can use a Bluetooth keyboard with the Apple TV. So that definitely implies that you could probably do all the functionality of it on the Apple TV. But Shree actually is probably our expert on this. so I'm
Let's
gonna
go with
defer to him.
Shree. I think he may have 1 or 2 Apple TVs lying around.
So basically, when you get your Apple TV, after you plug it in and connect your HDMI and you can take your iPhone, take the camera of the iPhone and scan over it, and it will update your Apple ID with the Apple TV. So all the credentials are done through that. And once you set that up, you can go ahead. You're gonna have to set up your internet account so you can get
Right.
the Wi-Fi on it, and that's pretty much you'll get it through VoiceOver. Will tell you to go ahead and set it up because you've established that credential. You'll have VoiceOver come on
Right.
also on your
Okay.
Apple TV. But the
Wow,
setup
that-
is pretty straightforward as long as you're able to get it connected with the camera. I had a little bit difficulty panning it with my iPhone to the Apple TV, but once I did it, then it was pretty smooth sailing.
Okay. But is there a power button on it, or you just scan it once you plug it in?
As soon as you plug it in, it'll power it up. The new remote controls, they have new remote controls now. That does have a power button that you can actually use it to turn your Apple TV as well as your TV on.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
So this is
And,
Herbie with a couple
And the
of
side
questions.
button's on the right-hand side.
Okay,
of the
hang on,
remote.
Herbie.
Awesome. All right.
Is that it, Shree?
That's it. Thank you.
All righty, let's go to Herbie.
So my question then for you, Shri, is two of them. So first of all, like I'm used to with the Apple Watch, for instance, there's a manual pair option. Do you have that with the Apple TV if you're not comfortable with the camera? And second of all, do you turn on voiceover with the Apple TV when you first turn it on?
This is Shri.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't try it manually because I was able to pair it with my with the camera, but you can pair it manually too. You'll have to get the code. It'll be displayed
Right.
on the screen. VoiceOver will tell you what the code is, and you just have to put that in.
Okay, so yeah, so it's like the Apple Watch then, where like you can tell it to pair manually. It gives a code that you type in on your phone. So then so that gives you that flexibility as well too. Then okay, so I thought I'd ask that because that then gives you Thomas two different options to consider when you get your Apple TV.
And this is Shri. One other thing, Thomas, is that when you do set it up, your phone will act as a keyboard. So if you have to put in your Wi-Fi password and stuff, you could, instead of using the remote, you can use your phone to use the virtual keyboard.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and I actually have a nice Bluetooth fold-up keyboard. So what I'll do is I'll put, because I have 2 boxes I have to install. So I'll install those and I'll come back and share my experience next week. How's that sound?
Great.
All right. Thanks for answering my question. That
Thank
gives me a
you.
lot of
Thank you,
information.
Thomas. Good luck to you. We want to hear about it. Okay, who'd like to go next? Who's been
Ibrahim.
waiting in the wings? Say it again. Ibrahim, go ahead.
Yeah, so I am looking for a good RSS reader, and I downloaded a bunch of them. The latest one I tried is called Net Newswire, I think, and I'm having some trouble with it. It doesn't seem to want to find any feeds when I type in like a web address to get a feed.
Who knows about RSS readers?
This
Help
is Herbie.
Ibrahim out. Yeah, Herbie, go ahead.
So are you typing in the web address or the actual RSS address?
I'm just typing in the address of the website, for example, like www.
I think what you need to do with RSS readers, at least this has been my experience in the past, is you need to find the actual RSS feed and input that link. So most websites that have an RSS thing will have listed on the site, and I'd imagine you could double tap and it might even already open it into the Net Newswire RSS reader or whatever. But I would try the actual RSS feed, not the website. And
you mean I would go to the website I'm looking for, and on
Yep.
there would be the RSS feed? Okay.
Yep. The other possibility too is if the RSS reader has a search function, it might, if it works. I think the RSS, it works like a podcast directory type thing, so where you can search and you might be able to find what you're looking for that way as well. So that'd be another thing.
I'll try that. It does have a search function. I'll try that.
Okay.
This is Jenny.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, this is Jenny.
Jenny, yes.
The other thought I had is I don't know if it costs money anymore or not. That's why I hesitated to say anything, because I know not everybody has the means to go download a bunch of apps to find out what they want. But the app Lyre, Lyre, is a very good accessible RSS reader app, and it may show you what you need to have, what link you need to look for the specific feed. I haven't done it myself, but I have heard a ton of blind people talk about it, so it can be done.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that was my second. This is Ibrahim. That was my second option, but I thought I'd just try to start since I already have it on the phone. But I'll look at that as well. Thank you.
All right. Okay, well, thank you. Let's see. Who's got our next question?
This is Kenny.
Yes, Kenny.
Okay, I had 15.3. Everything was great, of course. Then 15.4 came out, so I upgraded to that. And now it is inexplicably reading notifications with voiceover. And I went to the notifications and made sure it just said like badges and sounds. And yet it still reads notifications with voiceover on the lock screen. And I was wondering if anybody knew of a way to get it to quit doing that.
Okay, Kenny's got notifications being read on by voiceover on his lock screen. I know how
it
you
just
can get rid of
says
that.
sound badge, sounds and badges is what I have on my notifications. And I know voiceover used to have an option to not read notification or not speak out notifications automatically. And looked through voiceover and couldn't find that option anymore. So I'm like, did they take that away? So
This is Jenny.
Yes, Jenny.
I promise I won't be a hog on the call, but
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I did find that voiceover reading notifications is in the very last or second to the last item in voiceover. And if it's not there, it's in verbosity.
okay, they moved it.
Yeah, they might have moved it to verbosity if it's not in voiceover, but it's there somewhere, but it really is.
Yeah, just as you were speaking it, I got a YouTube notification. It said YouTube notification. Oh man. So that's kind of what it's doing. Just arbitrarily reading notifications.
The other thing you could do is turn a focus on. Are you aware of focuses and what they are?
No, I know they upgraded Do Not Disturb to focus.
Yeah, like I have it to where when I'm reading a book in my Bible app, or when I'm reading my book in my Kindle app, or this call, I have it to where all my notifications are, they are
like you have it on Do Not Disturb while you're reading.
Yeah, they're held over until I'm done. So it tells me when the focus is on, and then when I leave the app, it tells me the focus is off. So it might be worth going through those settings in the focus and setting up one for reading, or for sleeping, or just try it out for an hour or something.
This just does it when it's like just sitting there. Like I'm not on the phone. I'm doing nothing, and all of a sudden it'll just start speaking.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Reading,
Well, look in verbosity first. Look in verbosity first.
I have to do that.
And
this is Jody.
Yeah.
Let's see what Jody's got.
This is
Go ahead,
Ibrahim.
Jody. Hang on. Let's go with Jody.
Yeah. Hi, Kenny. I would. What about just going to settings and going to notifications and turning notifications off?
Well, I want the notifications, but I don't want them to just blurt it out like it's doing right now. I mean, like I said on 15.3, it did not do that. When I upgraded to 15.4, then it's like we're gonna speak every notification, and I thought, well, gosh, maybe banner got turned on or something, and so I went to the notification.
This Jody.
And it just
Jody, real quick,
sounds.
I'm going to go to Ibrahim and try to.
The one thing you can do is you can fine tune them now. I know text messages you would repeat now where they didn't do that before. But if you go into specifically under text messages, you can turn off the frequency of doing that. But I just go to notifications and then go to each individual app under notifications and see if they've gotten so that they're more fine tuned than they were before.
All right, Ibrahim, what you got?
So I'm just thinking because I've had this happen to me on the iPad. There might be some on the phone, but what I did is I went to settings and I found that my speak screen had been turned on, and that was making my notifications go crazy. So might you want to see if that's on in your settings and turn that off. That might help.
That's
This is
a
great.
consideration. Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
Something I'd be curious to try, and if you go to settings and notifications, about the third item down is announce notifications, and that's a toggle on or off. I don't know if that would take care of your issue or not, but you might try that.
All right, there's a couple of things for you to look at, Kenny. Hopefully that'll get it solved for you. Okay, who's got our next question? Who hasn't had a chance, who'd like to go?
This is Claudia.
Yes, Claudia.
Yes, I'm going to another carrier soon. I have the SIM card and everything, but I've been having a lot of trouble activating it.
You got a new iPhone and you're having trouble
No,
activating it?
No, I'm using the same iPhone, but I have I'm changing the SIM card
Okay.
because I'm gonna move to another carrier, and I'm having a hard time activating that line, the new line with
This is
my
Herbie.
iPhone.
Okay, Herbie maybe have an answer for you. Let's see. Go ahead, Herbie.
First thing I would actually do is check to make sure your iPhone is unlocked from your current carrier, because if it's locked, that's going to prevent you being able to move forward. And so that's what I would check, is see if it's actually locked to the carrier or not. And they may have to provide an unlocking type deactivation code for it before you can move forward. If you still have trouble, then what I would do is I would go to a carrier's, a store for your carrier, and the techs there should be able to help you make the switch over if the locking is not an issue, if there's something else going on.
This is Claudia.
Yeah, Claudia.
Yeah, I called before I moved the SIM card, I called the old carrier, and they told me they unlocked it.
This is Shri.
Yeah, go ahead, Shri.
Claudia, do you know if you have any outstanding balance on the account?
No, they told me that I still have until the 1st, because I had unlimited.
So is your current carrier you're still using the current carrier till the 1st of next month?
Well, they say I still have service until the 1st of the next month.
When is your last payment with this carrier?
Oh, just a few weeks ago. This was my last payment.
Okay.
I think Herbie's recommendation of going to a store for the carrier you want to go to.
Yeah,
And they should
that's
be
what
able
I'm
to
gonna
look at
do
your phone. They
tomorrow.
can
I
tell
just-
if it's unlocked, and they know how to handle SIM cards, and they're little tiny little things. They're kind of difficult to deal with. I think that's the
Yeah.
best advice.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. But I was just wondering if you guys knew any other way to do it, because
Yeah, I go to the carrier. They'll take care
yeah,
of it for you.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
All right.
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Shri.
Just out of curiosity, who's your carrier that you're going into?
I'm currently on T-Mobile. I'm going to Xfinity Mobile.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, go see Xfinity, and they should be able to get it worked
I
out
will
for you.
tomorrow.
I think that's the best thing to do.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Who would like to go next? Who hadn't had a chance to ask a question yet?
This is Jenny.
Yes, Jenny.
Are there any of you? I kind of doubt this, but I wanted to ask anyway. Are there any of you Braille users on the call that could tell me if they have had or not had any issues writing an email?
This is Chanel.
Yes, Chanel.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Uh, like I was sitting outside last week in the sun and I was thinking, it feels good out here. I'm going to try to write some email cuz a simple, what maybe would take 5 minutes on the computer, took 20 minutes on the phone just because the cursor keeps moving. And
Yes.
the weird thing is, so this is actually a bug that's the Braille lists. There's a podcast that they produce. They're called the Braille lists. And anyway, Scott Davert was one of their guest speakers.
I
Yep.
sat through
And
those whole classes.
he was demonstrating that in an email, and this was back in iOS 15.3 something, but it's still a problem in 4. And I hardly use my Braille display for anything on the phone, but emails will not be one of them for a while until they get that fixed. Because he
that's
suggested
what I thought
going
too.
to the subject, like with dot one, and then going back to, but it's still, I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know how to avoid frustration and to get it consistently to work. So, I would use Braille screen input.
Yeah, there you go. The only thing I've been able to do is to write letters without carriage returns.
Yeah, that's right. That's what he said. Okay.
You can do that till the cows come home, but you can't enter in a carriage return. You can't hit enter at all.
Yeah, he did. I think his solution was to write the thing out in notes and then maybe paste it into the email. So I should try that next time.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know if
works
that would
for
help
me too. I
you,
use
but
VoiceStream Writer, but either way, it
okay.
works. Because
Yeah.
VoiceStream Writer has proofreading and spell checking in it and stuff, so it's
Okay.
a little
Sorry, we're
easier.
carrying on a conversation. I know it's not quite
That's okay.
helpful to everybody else, but anyway.
You never know.
Yeah,
You
I
never
just
know.
wanted to throw it out there because I have a lot of issues with Braille, and we just need to we need more to report about it, and more to report it, and more to report it, because it's so beneficial, especially for the deaf blind. They desperately need their Braille. So I guess I asked that question to, give a shout out to say, hey, please report if you can get a chance, and if you know anything about it. That's all I had. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Jenny. Okay. Somebody hadn't had a chance to go would like to get their foot in the door? Ask us the next question.
This is Chanel. I do have a question.
Yes, Chanel.
So in another call I was on earlier today, somebody asked about creating a quick note. And first of all, I'm wondering, well, what is the purpose of a quick note and how would we do it on an iPhone? Because they were talking about something to do with an iPad, and I don't know if the process is the same and I thought of it because, okay, could the quick note be kind of a solution, another way to write a quick email and then cut and paste it into an email? So it's a multi-part question, but basically, what is a quick note and how would we use it as a voiceover user?
Okay. Who knows?
This is Jenny.
Yes, Jenny.
Okay, I just read Anna Dresner's book this morning about iOS 15, and she described a lot about the quick notes. Quick notes are mainly for the iPad. They're not for the iPhone until you edit them, until you're ready to edit them. You can only start them on an iPad. But once they're edited, you can share them with your iPhone. They can be edited with an iPhone and stuff like that after that. But they are meant for, say, oh, I don't know. I'm on a web page and I see a quote that I want to, kind of take a quick note about. Well, I have made it, and you have to do this yourself because it's going to be what you want. There's no shortcut gesture assigned, voiceover gesture assigned to it. There's a couple ways you can do that, and I'll tell you that in a minute. But what I did is I assigned a shortcut command in voiceover for 4-finger flick down, and that will start a new quick note. A quick note is just basically a note, like you're putting a sticky note in an app. And then after you've edited it, it can be read and edited in notes and on your iPhone, but at first can only be started with an iPad.
Okay. Thank you, Jenny. Hope that answered your question, Chanel.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay. We got a little while till the top of the hour. Who'd like to go next?
Ibrahim.
Okay, Ibrahim.
Yeah, I heard some people talking about this. I think you can like assign a gesture to the back of your phone to like go back in settings. Is that something you can do with the iPhone SE? And do you have to be on 15 to do that, or can you still do that in iOS 14?
So you're asking about gestures that you tap on the back of your phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Who knows about the back tap? Can answer Ibrahim's question on the back tap. Any back tap users out there?
This is
Sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Was that Chanel?
yeah, and I'm trying to. So, I have tried back tap, and I sometimes inadvertently turn it on when I don't want to, and then sometimes it doesn't work. But there's a couple ways of going into it. One is inaccessibility, but the other that I know of, if you go to VoiceOver and you go to commands and gestures, and then there is I think after it lists all the finger gestures, there's the back tap. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but basically, yeah, you can assign either a 1-finger double tap or 1-finger triple tap to things like going to your notification center or home or control center, things like that.
And do you have to be on 15, or can you do that in 14 still?
You
I
can
thought the
do
part.
that in 14.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm not sure. I would think all iPhone models would support it, but I would be great to know for sure. If somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
And you said
This is
voiceover
Jenny.
accessibility and commands, I think.
Yeah,
So what part?
voiceover
Hang
and
on,
then
Jenny.
commands and gestures.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Janelle.
Okay, let's let Jenny. Go ahead, Jenny.
Unfortunately, Chanel, the first SE is not going to take that. You have to have an iPhone 8 and above.
How about
So
the
the
SE 2020?
SE2, the SE 2020 should take it.
Okay, that's what I have.
Oh, okay, then yeah, you should be good. I wasn't sure because you just said SE. So, the old 6 SEs won't take it, and I think the 8 will. You can also go into accessibility and then touch. Underneath touch, there's a back tap. There's a whole list of things you can do there, and then under voiceover, there's a bunch of things you can do there. So there are 2 places that you can get to choose what you want to do with back tap.
Oh, okay, thanks.
This is Sri.
Yes, Sri, go ahead.
Also, I think if you're going to enable the back tap, we seem to get better results if you tap near the camera section area, like maybe right below the camera, versus tapping it way down in the bottom of the phone.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Okay, thank you, Sri. Okay, who'd like to go next?
This is Kenny with a comment.
Yeah, Kenny, go ahead.
All right. I wanted to thank Jenny for the verbosity that worked. They did move it there. And even though I had it off before, they turned it on. So it is in verbosity. Always
Okay.
speak notifications was on.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay. Thanks for letting us
yeah.
know, Kenny. That's good
And
information.
that settings, voiceover, verbosity.
Interesting. They moved it. Yeah, mine's not done that. Mine's been off for many versions of iOS and many iPhones, and it did not
Yeah, mine
come
was
on.
too.
So
And
it's
that's why I was like,
weird.
what the heck? And I
Yeah,
looked in
really, that's
voiceover
weird.
where it normally was, and it wasn't there. So
Well, thank you for
This
letting
is
us
Jenny.
know. Yeah, go ahead, Jenny.
Yeah, speaking of that, you know, the part where one of you, it happened to one of you and didn't the other one. For some reason on my auto text, I like to have that on because it tells me what the selection is that it wants to put in after those bleep, bleep, bleep. You know, you're typing along and it does that. And then it tells you what the selection is. Well, I want that on. And I mean, every update that I have done, it turns it off. So I'm always constantly turning it back on. So they tweak things a lot. Apple does.
Yes, they do.
When they update.
And this is Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny.
Just for edification, where would you turn on this auto text that you're speaking of?
Well, because say you want to write the word remember, and you type REM, and you know how you get the little bleep, like it's gonna
yes.
Okay, and then it'll say remember. And if you want to accept that, you can just press the space bar and the rest of remember will be put in there. So you don't have to continue to type out MEMBER. You can just type REM and then it'll recognize that you want remember and then just press space bar and the rest of the word will be put in there.
Oh, and how would a person turn that feature on? Speaking of the,
It's in accessibility, spoken content, typing feedback.
all right. That's another great tip. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jenny. Okay, we've got a few more minutes. Who's got what? Go ahead.
I just have a quick follow-up question to that. This is Chanel, if you don't mind.
Yes, Chanel, please.
So, Jenny, then does that work also in Braille if you hit the space and then, or is it, I didn't think, or are you talking about typing on the iPhone touch keyboard?
No, it works on keyboards too.
Okay.
I don't know about the Braille so much about Perkins keyboards, but I do know it works on the Mantis.
Okay.
And
that's if the auto correction is on or the
auto
type
correct.
stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't always have that on. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Let me see. We got probably time for at least one more quick question.
Is it Ibrahim?
Yeah, Ibrahim, go ahead.
I just had a comment of a question asked last week. I was asking about how to turn off a setting that was messing with my triple quick accessibility shortcuts that will bring up a hearing aid thing sometimes. And I figured out that what was happening actually that I had to go into the hearing settings itself and unenable that because that was still connecting the hearing aids even after I removed it from the app and everything. And that seems to have fixed that.
This is Brad. You're talking about on the accessibility shortcut.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a hearing aid as well. And I do not have it in my accessibility shortcut, but every time there's any kind of an iOS update, it turns it back on. And I have to go in and turn it off. And you will find that will be the case. I don't know why it does not respect your settings. It comes on every time, no matter how minor the update, how major the update, it's there every time. That's a good tip.
This is
Okay.
David.
Yes, David.
Oh, I heard y'all talking earlier about the RSS readers, and
Yes.
that one's called it's Lyre, but it's Lire, not Lyre.
Okay.
So it's I think it's
I
Latin
stand
for
corrected. I'm sorry. I thought it was
okay. It's
LYRE.
Latin for to read. I think it's like a Latin.
Right. Now that you say
Oh,
that
Yeah,
makes
so
sense. Sorry.
yeah, but yeah, it's a good program. I've had it for many years, and they do continue to update it, support it, and it's pretty accessible. Although there's a lot of customization you can do. It can get kind of complex, but they do have accessibility settings within the app that they've kept supporting everything. So
All right. Thank you, David. Okay. Who's got a quick, like 5 minutes till the top of the hour? Maybe just a hair less.
Alice,
Yes, Alice.
on my phone, I have a lot of preloaded apps, but there are a lot of apps out there for the visually impaired that can be downloaded free. Would it be a good idea to delete some of those preloaded apps that I never use anyway? And since I'm visually very challenged, now I need a way to walk without assistance. They told me there was something called a walking app. That may not be the correct name for it. Do anybody know of anything out there with assist in walking the same way the GPS assists in driving?
Yes, they had a number of them. Who can help Alice out with a navigation app that she can use when she's walking? Who's got their favorite one they can tell her about?
This is Jenny.
Yes, Jenny.
If
Go
nobody
ahead.
else wants to go, I'll do
Go
it. but
ahead,
if-
Jenny. Nobody's
okay.
speaking up. Go ahead.
Okay. I use an app called Soundscape. It's a free app. It's Soundscape. And you can go ahead and offload any of those apps that you're not going to use. That's fine. There's nothing you won't hurt anything on your phone. And what Soundscape does is you have to wear earphones if you can, like AirPods Pro, or the AirPods earbuds of some sort. And somebody may have to help me a little bit here, but what happens is it puts out a beacon, which is a basically a noise, a beep that is pointing you to the direction of where you want
This is
to go.
Herbie.
Okay.
Go ahead, Herbie.
Herbie, go ahead.
Yeah, I just thought I'd mention that we just had a cafe on navigation apps where Soundscape was one of the app demos that we had. So that might be worth checking out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Very
Thomas
good.
in Grand Junction.
Yes, sir, Thomas. Real quick. I think we're almost at the
Just
top
real
of the
quick,
hour.
yeah. No, I use Soundscape, and like I said, it's free. And they really went in depth on it, on how to set markers and what beacons are for. It is probably the best app for pedestrians that I've seen out there. Anyway, that's just my testimony, and I'd certainly be willing to teach people how to use it if they need it. So,
Thank
Thomas
you,
is done
Thomas.
speaking.
Thank you.
And I don't know, Sonny, we're 2 minutes till top of the hour. Do we want to call it?
This is Sri.
Or Sri, go
This is
ahead.
Jim. I was just going to say,
Right on.
if there's an interest in the indoor navigation, we also did a cafe with Clue, CLEW.
Okay. Go ahead, Jim, real quick.
Yeah, there's another one out there called, I believe it's Good Maps. And that you might want to check out. And always remember to use either a cane or a dog when you're out walking with these apps, because you can't make them the be all and end all to depend on getting around.
All right. Good advice, Jim. Okay. And with that, Sonny, I'm going to say we are like right there at the top of the hour.
All right. Thank you, Brad, so
righty.
much. Okay, so let's give everybody a chance who didn't get to say hello the first time around. Please say your name and where you're from.
This is Alice from Alabama.
Welcome.
Jenny from Idaho.
Hey, welcome.
Kathy from Oklahoma.
Welcome.
David from Houston.
Hey, welcome.
Eddie from Missouri.
Who's that? Carol? Okay.
Jim from PA.
Jim, welcome.
Vincent, New Jersey.
Vincent, welcome. Anybody else want to say hello?
Karen from Philly.
Hey, Karen, welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Anybody else? Going once. Okay. So I guess we know what's going to happen now. We're going to find out what is going to be the subject of the iBUG night at the virtual movies this Friday. And to that end, we will provide some very mysterious clues, and hopefully you'll figure it out. And with those clues, enigmatic clues, yes, I think we've used that word, but okay, it still applies. And with those clues is the iBUG guy. Are you out there? Love Revolutionary? I don't know.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm here once
Aw.
again.
Where's the Love Revolutionary?
He's still on sabbatical. Sorry about that.
Okay, it's all right. We'll take you.
Maybe back by summer. I'm not sure when he's.
Okay. All right.
We'll never see. I'm trying to get another guest to come in. But
Oh, okay.
we'll
We're
see.
still happy to have you. What you got for us, sir?
All right, so this Friday we have Friday night the virtual movies at 7:30 p.m. for the pre-movie social, 8 p.m. for the movie start time, and right after the movie we'll have a discussion and then some trivia, and those are all central right here on this very same Zoom channel. And with that, we will get started with
What? Are you in pain?
All right, all right. So we have 5 fabulous clues. Count them, 5. And remember, say your name, wait to be recognized by me or someone that sounds like me, and then you may guess the title of the movie.
Oh, this is Sandhya. One more clarification.
Another clarification.
One
Yes.
guess per clue. Isn't that right?
One guess per clue, unless you're Shri and you only get one clue guess all night long.
Yeah, really.
I got banned after answering
Right, that's true. I
3
think Shri
movies in a
might have
row.
That's I'm gonna take that to Discrimination Act.
Yeah, well, Brad got banned, so you might get banned too. We'll see.
Yeah, I
Okay,
nailed
all
3
right.
movies
Let's
in a
go.
row.
Let's go.
I'm a minority.
Yeah, get over it. Okay, next. Move
All
on.
right, here we go. Clue number 1. This is a long clue, so listen
boy.
closely and hopefully I can recite it properly.
All right.
This week's film has a new, perhaps even groundbreaking setting with such loving, acutely observed specificity. Specificity. I can't say it when I start.
Specificity. Go on, go on, go on.
You're doing great.
Okay.
All right.
Specificity.
All right. Did everybody get that? I'll try it one more time. This week's film has a new, perhaps even groundbreaking setting with such loving, acutely observed specificity.
Okay, you got it. Okay, anybody got a clue? I mean, about the clue. If so.
This is Jim.
Oh.
All right. I heard somebody right before Jim and then
Nikki.
Jim. All right, Nikki.
Is it that Matt Damon movie about Mars? I don't know the exact title.
Matt Damon movie about
I think it was Matt Damon. Yeah.
Yes, that was a Mars movie with Matt Damon, which I think we've already seen on here, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Really? I was.
That's a good guess. All right, Jim.
I'm gonna guess that it's a movie.
Yes, it's a movie. Very good. Ding, 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 ding. He got it.
Nice try.
It's a
This is Sri.
movie.
I heard Kathy before Shri.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, I didn't know. I was just snickering.
Oh, you're snickering.
Oh.
Okay.
I have no clue.
All right.
Shri.
Just a question. I only have one guess for the whole thing.
Yes. You
Then I'll
one.
defer.
All right.
That was the plan. Okay, go
Good
ahead.
choice. That was an excellent choice, Shri. All right, moving on to clue number 2. It is a feel-good coming-of-age tale following a talented small-town girl from modest means.
This is Sri.
I don't know about this. He answered too quickly. Sri.
Is this Soul Surfer?
Soul Surfer! I saw that one. No, that's unfortunately not it. And you are retired for the evening. Thank you for playing. Come again.
Okay,
All right.
anybody else?
Anybody
Yes.
else? I can repeat the clue if we need to. It is a feel-good coming-of-age tale following a talented small-town girl from modest means.
Crickets.
Okay, moving on to clue number 3. This will probably give it away. Wait. What's that word? Say it again.
Come on.
She is navigating the intricacies of her identity, passions, and familial family expectations.
And that's going to give it away.
She is navigating the intricacies of her identity, passions, and familial expectations.
Next.
Wow, I thought that would give it away.
I
Okay.
think you're going to stump them.
All right. Clue number 4. This is a long one.
Just to remember, people, you have to unmute if you're going to say your name.
Say your name. Say your name. All right. There's an idealistic teacher, a winsome crush, moving rehearsal montages, and a high stakes audition.
This is Jenny.
All right, Jenny.
It's not Beaches, is it?
Beaches is not the one we are looking for this week, but good try. It's kind of like Beaches.
There's water.
Yeah, there's water. There's an idealistic teacher, a winsome crush. What's a winsome crush? I think it's a boyfriend. Moving rehearsal montages, or montages, and a high stakes audition.
Okay, move on.
All right, our 5th and final clue. This will for sure give it away.
This is Carol.
Carol.
Hope float.
Hope floats. Another good guess, but not the one we wanted for this week. All
This
right.
is Karen.
Karen.
Is it Fame?
Fame. Wait, I was going to break out in song.
No.
I'll hold off.
Please. We remember your name.
All right. Not Fame, but there. Everybody's getting so close. Oh my goodness.
This is Navarroy.
No. Hold on. Anybody else?
All right, moving to clue number 5.
Okay.
The idea of this film isn't entirely novel. It's adapted from the French film La Famille Bélier. If you know
French,
guess. If you know French, that is got to give it away. La Famille Bélier.
Can Shri guess?
Can I give my guess to Shri?
This is
Sorry, this
Jim.
is Sabrina.
All right, Jim. No giving guesses away.
Yeah.
We don't then guess. Go ahead, Jim.
The Beautiful Family, or it's about her children, Sons of Beaches.
Oh, that is so close. Oh my gosh. All right. That was not it. All right, go ahead.
Sabrina.
Sabrina?
Yeah, she was the one who wanted to give her guess to Shri.
Oh, okay. You got to keep your guess, Sabrina. Go ahead.
Oh, she doesn't know, I guess.
She's
She's been kidnapped or something. Okay.
This is Carol.
Right, Carol.
I don't think this is it, but green tomatoes.
Green tomatoes. All right. There's no water in green tomatoes. Well,
This
there's
is
water.
Chanel.
Oh, Chanel.
How do you spell? Okay, I get famille, but how do you spell the other word in your French expression?
Yeah, you're saying beignet?
Bélier.
Okay. What?
B-E accent L-I-E-R.
Okay, Bélier. It's not
All
a
right.
word
I
I've
think you
encountered.
stumped them.
Is it my turn?
All
No,
right.
It is
We'll
not
give
your
them a
turn.
bonus clue. Bonus clue. Did you know that child of that deaf adult?
That's the clue.
Oh,
This is
no.
Jenny.
All right, Jenny.
Is it Children of a Lesser God?
Oh.
Turning into a pretzel or something.
Unfortunately not. Who was next?
Chanel.
I had an idea that I'm pretty sure is wrong, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Mr. Holland's Opus.
Mr. Holland's Opus.
There was a kid. His kid is deaf in that movie. So.
Oh yes, but I said children of deaf adult.
Oh, oops.
All right.
This is David.
All right, David's got it. He finally
David's
figured
got
out.
it. And now he's
It's Coda.
Coda! Ding, 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 ding! Yes, Coda is our film
It's
this
nominated for an Oscar.
It is nominated just in time for Oscar weekend. Yes.
Thank you, David.
First and only deaf person to be, no, well, not the only, but first deaf person that played a deaf person to be nominated for an Oscar.
This is Terry.
Terry?
Is that what you were going to guess? I wonder if that's what Shri was going to guess.
No, he wasn't going to guess that. Were you, Shri? No, he got
No comment. Well, will I get to play next week?
Yes, you're back in the system next week. All right, very good. Okay, Johnny, what do we have for our winner tonight?
All right, for David. David, you have got a Swift Trawler 50. And in case you're wondering what that is, it is basically a luxury yacht. So it has a spacious deck plan with wide walkways and high bulwarks for added support and while you're on board, so you won't fall off. And standard features include a flybridge lounge, that comes with a foldable sliding table. I hope they give you a table with all that. Then you have an external galley with a sink and worktop, as well as an electrical grill. This it is a beautiful, fancy kitchen or U-shaped galley with 2 refrigerators, an extractor hood. Guess you're going to be cooking a lot. A double sink and service hatch. I guess that's so you can jump in and out of the boat. I don't know. Anyway,
Where do you see the luxury tax bill on that?
I have no idea.
Beats that boat from
Is
Jaws.
this in the iBug
I
colors?
know. Yes, of course it's in the iBug colors. All right, so there you go. And this is great for fishing expeditions or romantic getaways. All right, there you go,
Suitable
David.
for chasing Jaws.
All right.
Don't forget, this is going to be a groundbreaking setting with such loving, acutely observed specificity.
Oh my goodness. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. McCulloch, for those wonderful clues, and good job, David. Too bad, Shree. Okay, now we are moving on back. So say good night, Mr. McCulloch.
Good night, Mr. McCulloch.
Okay, now my best part of the night. All right, everybody is muted, and now we are back to our regularly scheduled program. All the frivolity is behind us, and we are now back to Brad, and he's going to do our iBug segment for the evening. Brad, are you there?
Right, I am, with my own brand of frivolity.
Oh boy, I can't wait. Thank you, Brad.
Yes, okay. Let's see, you hear me okay? Let's see if we hear this iPhone.
2017.
Nope, it's needs volume.
2017.
I've been
That's
having
great.
rolling
Good.
thunder going on here, so you're liable to hear some of that out there too.
Rolling thunder. Okay, sound good. Okay.
Okay. So for those who've been keeping score, last time I was co-hosting, I presented an app, the Tips app, that can help people, new users. It comes on your phone and it can be very helpful. Well, tonight I'd like to talk about another app that can be very helpful, not just to new users, but all iPhone users. And the app is called the Apple Support app. It is not on your phone by default. You have to go get it from the iOS App Store, and you can download it. It is, of course, free and easily found by opening your App Store, going to the Search tab, searching Apple Support, and you will download it right to your phone. Once you have it on your phone, it is a plethora of all kinds of support. You sign into it using your Apple ID and password, so it knows who you are. And let's open mine and take a look at it. I'm already signed in. I'm not going to sign out and sign back in. I am on an iPhone 12 Pro. I am running 15.4, but that shouldn't matter because the app doesn't have anything to do with that. So here we go.
2018.
I'm on the app. I'm on the lock screen. I'm going to go ahead and just open it. I'm going to ask Siri, open Apple Support.
Support. Products. Back button.
There it is. And
Brad's iPhone 12 Pro.
okay, it's right where I left it. Let's go back to
Products. Return to products. Back button. Products.
Okay. Now,
Products. Heading.
I'm on the main screen, and
Products.
they have updated this since I haven't used it in a while, but I did read they have updated, and it's changed a little bit. It no longer has tabs along the bottom to select different areas of the app. And we're just doing a brief overview here because that's all we've got time for, but there's a lot in this app. So
products.
I go
Heading.
to products.
My devices.
Okay,
Heading.
I got my devices heading.
Brad's iPhone 12 Pro.
And we're going to
This
look at my
12
iPhone, okay? Just as an example, because lots of us have iPhones, but you'll also find
Bradford's AirPods.
AirPods,
Brad's Apple Watch.
the Apple Watch,
Bradford's AirPods Max.
and other AirPods.
Brad's iPhone 12 Pro.
So you see
This
all
iPhone
kinds
12
of
Pro.
devices that I've got. We're going to stick with the iPhone here. So I'm going to open it up.
Brad's iPhone 12 Pro. Brad's iPhone 12 Pro. This iPhone 12 Pro.
iPhone. So
Apple
we'll
Care
see.
Plus. Button.
Says I got
Possible text.
Apple Care
62
Plus.
degrees J.
Okay, it's it.
Actions
Button.
available. Get support.
Get
Heading.
support.
Tell us what's happening. Button.
Okay, button. There's a place where I can open up a text and I can start a text chat with an Apple support person, and I can tell them what's going on and they can steer me in the right direction.
Dictate.
There's also a button right there where I can dictate if I so choose. Very similar to what you find in the Messages app or other search features.
Repairs and physical damage.
This will take me to where maybe I've got some repair issue. Maybe I've got some damage to my phone. I've dropped it. The screen is cracked. The back of the phone, just the phone itself is damaged. I can open it up. And
Cracked screen. Front
there
only.
are different categories. Look at there. Cracked screen, front only.
Cracked screen. Front on. Battery service. Button.
Okay, battery service.
Back of iPhone is damaged. Button. Screen or display quality. Liquid or water damage. Cables. Headphones. And adapters.
You get the idea. Let's go back up here to
battery service. Button.
battery service. I open it up.
Finding your best options. Battery performance. Heading. Run a quick check to see the health of your battery. Check now. Button.
And I can run a battery check. I'm not going to do it because it may take us a little bit, but you get the idea. There's lots of little self-help things here. And if you detect a problem, you were then able to contact an Apple support personnel, make an appointment at the Genius Bar, and they're able to get the information from that battery check that I did right here on my phone, and it will go straight to the Apple technician. And in some cases, they may even be able to take care of it remotely, or they may make an appointment for you. And we could go back out of here, back to our devices, and go down to the different devices that I have. It knows what you've got because you're signed into your Apple ID. And each device will have its own categories of service items and ways to communicate with Apple and resolve any issue you may have with your Apple hardware. There's also a section down below my devices that say I am a subscriber to Apple Music or one of the other Apple services, and I'm able to get support on those issues. I know some of us here have Apple support on accessibility on speed dial, but this is another option for communicating with Apple to resolve issues you may have with hardware, software, services. And that's not going to help you if you have a problem with something like Bard, because you didn't get that from Apple. But if it's something that came from Apple, this is your place to go to get help and support. And that is the Apple Support app, available from the iOS App Store. That's it. Now we'll see what we do about questions.
All right. Thank you, Brad. Who's got a question for Brad about the Apple Support app?
This is Sri.
Yes, sir, Sri.
Hey, Brad. Good one. I like this one. When you chat with someone, does that go to like Apple Care versus Apple Accessibility?
I'm not really sure. I know it is basically you're either chatting with someone or a phone call. I would imagine, I don't know that it's this isn't necessarily a accessibility exclusive thing. I would imagine it's just general Apple support. I don't really see anything in here that is directly, accessibility voiceover. This is mostly just general Apple hardware and services. So I'm expecting it's regular Apple service. Now, if you get in there and you have an issue that is, the issue has something to do with a regular product or service, but you're having a voiceover issue, I would imagine they're going to redirect you to, Apple accessibility. But I would think that's an area you're well versed in.
Thanks.
All right. Anybody else? Any other questions for Brad?
And I might add, once you get, dig down deep into some of these on the different devices, you will find a lot of support articles, and you can read a lot of stuff about your device. Say it's your watch, your Apple TV. You might even find one about setting up an Apple TV. I believe that's a question we had earlier tonight. Yes. So the answer to that question might be in this Apple Support app. You probably have to go, if you don't already have one signed into your account, you may have to search for a product that it doesn't show you as being on your list of devices that you have signed into your Apple ID. But there's lots of stuff in here.
All right. That is
This is Sri.
Yes, sir,
Okay.
Sri.
One other question. Brad, does it keep a log of your trouble tickets that you open up with? Like, are
I
you
do
able
not
to-
know. I would think it would. This is just another way to communicate with the same Apple support that you could call on the telephone.
Mhm.
And in some ways, this is pretty quick. They can also maybe even, like I said, direct you to a support article that may help you. Plus, they're able to do diagnostics on your device. So my guess would be it probably does.
All right, thank you.
This is Terry.
Yeah, Terry.
Um, Related to this, and I'm wondering if it would even show up in this app too. I think it's if you have watchOS 8.5, you can also get support, diagnostic kinds of support for your Apple Watch. And so I'm going to check to see if that will link to something like that in this Apple support app too, because that's something they've just come out with, I think.
Just might. I could just Apple 8, Watch OS 8.5 just came out last week, and I have to say I've been busy with other things. I haven't really had that much time to explore the new things in it. But thank you, Terry. Anything else? Well, I guess that's it, Sandhya. So
all right.
back to you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Okay. Well, now we will resume our regular program of answering questions. So if anybody who didn't have a chance to ask the question during the first half, we'd love to hear from you. So if you'd like to ask a question, just say your name. I'd like to be recognized.
Bridget Dozier.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay, I have two quick questions. The one question is about my Dexcom, which is connected to my phone. So if I scan the code, I don't have to manually put it in there. So would it take if I scan it?
Okay, so it's a reader of some sort, right? For Dexcom.
Yeah, on the news line, the NFB reader, and I was wondering if I scan, it's a code on my Dexcom that I have to scan. So would it take if I scan it, or do I have to manually put the numbers in?
Okay, let's
This
see.
is Marty.
Go ahead, Marty.
No, it's like the Libre. When you scan it, you will hear voiceover, or it might have a text-to-speech feature, but you will hear the code read to you, and that code is in there. In fact, if you go into the log, you will see the time of and date of the code, like when you read it.
Okay.
Okay, so once I scan it, it's in there.
Yes, yes.
All right, thanks. And one more question. How do I go about trying to get a ticket for the Apple, buying a ticket
Oh,
for
that's
the
a good
Apple?
question. That's a great question, Bridget. So I like those kind of questions. So it's on our website. All the information is there. If you need help, I guess we could try to help you in some way. There's PayPal. We accept, I can't remember all, but we accept the Cash App and so forth. So the information about how to pay is on our website. Okay, ibugtoday.org.
Okay, thank you.
If you need help, let me know. Send us an email. We can try to help you. Okay, Liz, we're ready to take your donation. Thank you, Miss Bridget.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. Who's next for the new question? Somebody new, didn't have a turn, would like to share their question.
This is Herbie.
Okay, go ahead.
So I thought I'd ask because somebody had asked me this, and I would assume it's the case. So somebody was asking me, how do you turn on cell data on an iPad? And I'm assuming they didn't get back to me on whether their iPad was a Wi-Fi or model only, or if it was a full one. But I'm assuming that in the iPad it's under cell data the way it is on the iPhone. So I'm just wondering if I am correct on that.
Right? Anybody use cell data on their iPad? Somebody have an iPad with cellular plan. Okay. Anybody? Okay, Herbie, we'll have to table that one. You know what they say about assuming. So, all right, we'll have to check it out and let you know. Okay, thanks, Herbie. All right, who's next?
Michael.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the same on an iPad. Under settings, there's cellular, and you can turn it on and off.
All right.
All right, perfect.
There you go. Okay, it actually does real questions too. So I bring the clues. Okay, who's next? Somebody new? New question? Anybody?
It
Love
says
to
Brad.
hear your Brad.
So I have continued to play with my Apple Support app. And to follow up, I believe it was Thomas's question from earlier. After I swipe down below all the hardware I own and the services I subscribe to, there is other topics, other devices, and I found a whole list of things. And I find Apple TV, and there is setup. And when you go in there, there is a whole list of things you can look at for how to set up an Apple TV. Then there is also a button to directly contact Apple support. I assume that's through telephone. There's text and call. So there's a lot in this app. And it's pretty simple to navigate. There's just a lot there. You got to swipe on down. So Thomas, get the Apple Support app and check it out. It's probably going to answer your questions for you.
All right, great, Brad. Thank you. Okay, who's next? Somebody new.
This is Kenny.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Yes, I got the LIRE app, and I was wondering if there's a, other than support, is there a benefit to tipping them? Because it was $10, and it said in-app purchases, and under settings was the tip jar.
All right, to tip or not to tip? Who's got a answer for Kenny on Lyra? Didn't waste any time, huh, Kenny? All right. Anybody? Probably the tipping goes towards research and development, so probably wouldn't hurt, but that's just my thought. Okay, thank you, Kenny. Nobody else? No takers? Okay, who's next? Okay, anybody? Okay, I have a question. All right, so we've all seen this new feature when you're sending a text message and it'll say, Shri has his do not disturb on. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I type my message, and then I think it's already there. I can't remember if I see it before I start typing, or I don't know when I see it, but anyway, it's there. And then it says send anyway. So does that mean it's going to break his do not disturb and barge into his nap time, or how does that work? Or, or when will he get the message? Like, I guess normally he would get the message after when he turns off his do not disturb. But anyway, that's the question.
This is Herbie.
Okay. Hang on, Herbie. Anybody else want to try to answer that?
This is David.
David, go ahead.
The way I understand that to work is they'll still get the message. They just won't get the alert, because they have it silenced, but it'll still arrive in their messages box. And when they choose to look at messages, they'll see your message.
Oh,
I don't know why you wouldn't want to send it. Maybe you want to wait till they're, I guess, alert, whatever, so they get the little ding, and then because I sometimes get messages and they kind of get lost in the clutter, like
Right.
if I don't hear the ding, and then suddenly I realize, oh, I've got a message from yesterday I didn't even realize I had or something. I guess that's why they give you that option.
This is Brad.
Brad.
I've done it before to someone and send it, deliver anyway. And because I'm low vision, I can see that when I do that, all these colorful things shoot up from the bottom of the screen and go all up around the message. So it must be sending some kind of visual alert that, of course, those of us who are, blind or vision impaired are oblivious to, because I'm sure it's like David says, it doesn't make a sound, but there must be some kind of visual thing. That way, if they're in a meeting or sleeping or something, it doesn't disturb them. But if they happen to be awake and sighted and see their screen, it might catch their attention. But I see it from my end when I send it.
This is Shri.
Yes. Go ahead.
So do you see the banners also? Because when I see it on Do Not Disturb and I turn off Do Not Disturb, I see all these things showing up on my phone banner would show up like I had 3 missed calls.
Okay.
That's a question.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. What is your question?
No, my question was when I turn on Do Not Disturb and I've missed calls, I don't see the banners come up till, or at least I don't know if the banner shows up or not. I just noticed that when I turn off Do Not Disturb, it shows that I had 3
right. Okay.
calls.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Brad.
Go ahead.
My understanding is those don't show up until Do Not Disturb either is turned off manually or goes up, is turned off, automatically, like you told it, stay on Do Not Disturb for an hour till tomorrow morning, when this meeting is over, whenever that period of time and is over and Do Not Disturb turns itself off, all those notifications that happen, missed phone calls, text messages, anything else, boom, they just show up in your notification center or on your lock screen, depends on how you've got those notifications set. And what I was wondering is what happens with Deliver Anyway. They may come on the screen and there's that visual thing I was talking about. And then they may, I don't know if they stay there or what, but yeah, all that other stuff shows up once Do Not Disturb is over with.
Well, this is Sandhya. I would clarify on your the visual effect. I heard it, like I sent Michael a message one time. I was like, I don't know, whatever. I said send anyway, and then it said message sent with loud effect. The words are getting larger and smaller and larger and smaller. So VoiceOver tells you how it was sent. So that's what I wanted to add to
This
that.
is Herbie.
Okay, Herbie, go ahead.
So one little tip I will mention, though, let's say that you have a nasty habit of doing that to Shri all the time anyway, because you want to make sure he sees your messages. Well, he could actually go at the top of the screen, where it says like your name, like in his message window, he could go there and actually choose not to show you his Do Not Disturb status. So, just thought I'd mention that little tip out there if somebody was, but yeah, I've seen what you've seen, Sandhya, where like if you deliver anyway, you do get that VoiceOver does say loud effect, but I think you do hear a sound. Well, I think somebody did it to me once, but the other thing it doesn't tell you, though, I don't think, is like some people might have you on their like emergency bypass, and so they may get your message regardless anyway, but you're still going to see that they're on Do Not Disturb, so that's something else to take note of as well.
All right. Thank you, Herbie. I thought I heard somebody else. Did I?
It was Brad.
Brad.
I was going to say, I've sent them to you a couple of times before and told it to ignore. And I don't know, maybe it does the visual thing and it, doesn't make sound. So that's why you don't even know what's happening.
Okay, I'll have to try it out again. All right. I don't use it very often. So, all right. Well, thank y'all for your help on that one. Okay. Who's next? New topic, new question. Anybody like to ask a question? Yes. Here's
This is
somebody.
David.
David, good. Go ahead.
Well, this is a little bit esoteric, but
Esoteric.
I know we've talked in the past about how you can set up like a contact if it's a phone number you call that has one of those menus you have to navigate with the keys. Press 1, so on. Press 2 for this. Press 3 for that, and you can put all those in and program them so you can get to where you want to go really fast, or without having to put in any keystrokes. So, I have one for MetroLift system that I use multiple times a day. And I remember a couple of years ago, this happened also, but so what's happening now is when you ask Siri to call that number, it won't do it. It'll say it's calling it and then it just kind of gives up. It doesn't say I can't do that. It doesn't say, sorry, I can't do that. It just takes you back to my home screen. It kind of flashes and then so I can kind of see what's going on in the background. It doesn't bring up the little dial pad, like you'd have for the phone call. But if I do it just manually, if I go into the contact and just manually dial it, not dial it, but press on the, call it, it works fine. So somehow Siri is not wanting to call any number, I guess, with the little stars and commas and all that stuff in it.
Oh,
I don't
that
know.
is.
But I said it happened several years ago in one iOS and then eventually came back. So
Okay.
I
Anybody
don't remember
else
how long ago that was.
experiencing what David is talking about? Like, I guess you call it a, phone tree
Shortcut.
or whatever.
A shortcut to get through a phone tree.
Yeah,
that
shortcut.
You can put in your
Commas and spaces. Okay, so anybody having
it's
that
kind of going away.
with Siri? I mean,
Oh, what?
no, I'm just asking anybody.
Oh, it just started happening after the 15.4. That's when it started
okay.
breaking. Yeah, just about a week ago, whenever I installed the 0.4. Yeah,
This is
suddenly
Sri.
stopped working.
Shri.
So I don't know, Dave, if this applies to what you're talking about, but what I did notice is, like, for example, if I tell it to call PetSmart, it will say, would you like to call or would you like to get directions? And I would say, call. And then it would loop again, said, who would you like to call? And then I would say PetSmart again. And then it says, would you like to call? And I say, yes. And it makes the call. It runs one loop. On the second loop, it makes the call. I don't know why. But my question was, did you try to do it with the second loop? Like, does it fail or does it hang up?
I think I tried at least a couple of times in a row and it still didn't go through, but yeah, I think I did at least twice, but maybe no more than twice. Then I just went in. It's in my favorite contacts also. I can get it from my favorite phone number list, so I can get to it that way. It's just a little extra effort to do.
Very frustrating. Go ahead, Shri.
One other thought, do you know if your Metro has got an IVR that does not allow the DTMF to be recognized? Like it wants that verbiage to be completed, because sometimes that happens where the DTMF that you assigned are not going to match up with the IVR that it's being put out when you call. Like I hear a lot of the COVID messages that they don't allow you to escape out of that message. They want you to listen to the whole thing.
Well, see, it works if I call it using the contact.
I see.
It works fine. It's only when Siri is involved, and so she just doesn't like calling that number anymore. So
This is
This is
Brad.
Vincent.
Okay,
Sorry.
Brad and then Vincent.
Well,
Brad.
I'm wondering what kind of number is it? Like Sri's example of PetSmart. He may have PetSmart in his contacts, but if you ask Siri to call PetSmart, Siri's going to go look up that number on the web or, outside of your contact because that's a store. You say, call PetSmart, it's going to look it up. But you may have it in your contacts with your commas and all the little stuff to move you through the menu. But if it's looking for it on the web, it's not accessing what you've done in your contacts. Perhaps that's what's going on.
David.
Oh, I could rename it. I could try renaming the contact, I guess, to something else. See if I could trick her.
Yeah, if you're like me, we got it something like confirm or reservation.
Well, no, I call it, the name of the contact is Max, MACS, because that's what Metro calls her. So I have the contact title as Max. So I say, Siri, call Max. And it's worked for 10 years when how long I had iPhone. But like I said, it did stop for a period of time. I don't remember how long ago, but I know it was off for maybe one iOS whole cycle, and then it came back.
Okay, let's see what Vincent has to say. Vincent.
I said
I've
kind
been
of
having the
esoteric, so
same-
you don't have to. I just want to bring it up.
No, it's good.
No one else was.
Yeah. No, good.
Talking, so.
Esoteric is good. Okay, go ahead, Vincent.
That's a word for the day.
I
Esoteric.
love it. That's a good word. Okay, go ahead, Vincent.
Well, I've been having the same issue for several weeks now, probably 2 weeks or something, including yesterday. And this affects not only when I ask Siri to call a number that I don't have, in which case the number appears. And when I say, do you want me to call or do you want to get directions? Just call. And who do you want to call? And after 3 or 4 or 5 times, I have just given up on it. I just go get the actual text, and then I just memorize it and I call it. But it also happens calling a contact that I have in my phone. I was calling a drugstore, and this is called CVS. You don't have a contact called CVS, and I do have a contact CVS. So I have to manually go to my contacts and dial CVS, and then it gets through. And it has nothing to do with commas, spaces, or anything. There's a glitch in with Siri. That's only one. I've had. Well, first of all, Siri has been less than helpful. Maybe it's the questions that I'm asking.
That's putting it nicely, Vincent. Well,
This is Sri.
Okay, go ahead, Sri.
Now, is it possible that you have to specify whether it's a CVS, you have it as a CVS work number or a home number?
When I have more than one phone number for several items. Apple is one of them. Friends, I have their home phone number, and they have their mobile. And Siri does ask, do you want to call home or do you want to call mobile? Do you want to call work or do you want to call another number? So it is an erratic behavior, because it does do it with some of my contacts, but not with all the contacts. And I do have to be specific. If I say, call CVS in a particular at a particular address, but I get the same result. Yes, I get the phone number and the location, but when I ask Siri to call it, it doesn't. It just reverts to who do you want to call?
This is Sri.
Ghostbusters.
I think Greg had the same issue too. All right, go ahead, Sri. Moving on.
Well, that's what I was talking about. The PetSmart gives me an example of the CVS. So if the CVS is not in your contacts and you ask call CVS, it's going to say local CVS, I don't know, at Fairfax, Virginia, would you like to call or get directions? And I would say call, and it would say, who would you like to call? Yeah. And then I would say CVS, and then it'll give me the same prompt, but the next time I say call, it goes through. And that's because I don't have it in my contacts.
No, I do have it in my contacts, and it doesn't recognize it. So I don't know if I have to input it again or what, but I'd rather just do it manually. If I go to the contact and I tap on on the phone number, and then I can call it. So I just use that.
Right. And another, solution like David was suggesting is you can put some of these things in favorites, and just so you don't have to, navigate through all of your contacts, you can just have a few things in there. You may already have it that way, but that might be another quick way. And I don't know if any of y'all remember, there used to be an app, I forgot what it was called, and you could, it was, I think it was the equivalent of speed dial. I think I've mentioned this before, and you just have it. I think you'd have the icon on your home screen, and it was like One Touch or something like that. Anybody remember? David, do you remember that one? It's called, I think it was One Touch, but it's been a long time. But all right, well, okay, great question there. Thank you.
This is Shri.
Shri.
I did want to mention one bug in reference to this that I noticed when I went to update, when I updated to 15.4. For example, with the PetSmart, when I don't want my Fairfax PetSmart, I want to go to the Burke, Virginia PetSmart. When I ask it to call the second one, it throws me back to the first PetSmart. So that one, it was definitely a bug because I was able to replicate that like 10 times and it happened every time. So I did report that to Apple.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for doing that, because we benefit from every time you do that. So thank you, Shri. Okay. Who's next? Somebody with a new question?
Oh, a comment. I'm sorry. This is Vincent.
Yes,
and
sir.
I
Go
forgot.
ahead.
On cellular data, if you activate cellular data on a device, let's say like an iPad, where you haven't been using it before, you will incur into a charge from your carrier.
Yes,
So
that's
I do have the availability to I just have it there in case I need it, but I don't use it. I just use it on my phone.
Right.
This is Herbie.
Cellular plan. Go ahead, Herbie.
But you still have to, I'm assuming if you were to have, I don't know this person's situation, but I'm assuming that if you were to turn on cell data with an iPad, you'd still have to first sign up for a plan with your carrier. It's not just going to automatically make use of it. I would assume that you have to get a cell data plan first.
This is
That's correct. Okay, go ahead, Tree.
So typically, I know at least with Verizon, so I'm going to probably assume it applies to the other carriers. Like I have an iPad with cell service, so it costs, depending on how many lines you have. For me, it's $10 to have cell service on my iPad, and I could turn it on 1 month, turn it on the next month, you can pick and choose when you want to turn it on and off, and they just charge you $10 for the month for converting it to a cell service.
All right.
Okay, thank you guys. Okay.
And it's not an incoming number. You can't call that number. It's not a telephone number to call.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like the Apple Watch. It's a cloned number, but it's not a real phone number. Yeah,
that's correct.
Okay, moving on. Okay, next. Somebody new wants.
This is Kenny.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Yeah, I can call my Apple Watch with its assigned number and answer it, and so it does. My watch at least does do that.
Okay.
This is Shri.
Shri.
So Kenny, are you saying you have two different numbers that somebody can call you at?
Yes.
Okay. So you have a watch plan, I guess, for your
yeah, it's the cellular, whatever they call it, plan, and it's with AT&T, and they assign a number to it, and I got that number and I have it as watch. So if I say call watch, it will ring the watch and I can answer it and have a little echo or whatever, depending on how close or far you are.
So wait a minute. Hang on. If somebody calls your number, your regular phone number, is it going to ring on your phone or on your watch or both?
Yes, both. Yes.
Okay.
But there's a separate number that they assign to the watch, and I can call that,
right.
and it'll just ring the watch.
All right, go ahead, Shri.
No, that was my question. So I've never heard that. That's why you got my curiosity, because I do have a number on my watch, but it's like a non-dialable number.
Oh wow, mine can be dialed, and
This is Marty.
Marty, go ahead, Marty.
Yeah, my wife has a number with her watch, and I tried calling it, and I could not get through. Now, I don't think she's tried calling it with her phone, and that might be a different story, but I could not get through to that watch number.
Maybe she's blocking you, Marty.
This is great.
Go ahead, Tree.
I'm just thinking from your phone, I could see it happening because that number is tied to your account. But I'd be very curious, like if I call that watch, if you'd be able to hear it ring is my question.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't know if I tried it from a different phone, so I will have to do that.
Okay, let us know what happens, Kenny. Thank you. Okay, who's next?
Ibrahim.
Ibrahim, go ahead.
Yeah, I am having a severe problem with texting a non-Apple user. Like, not even like when I click on a message they send, can't open it at all. Like, it just freezes. Like, I can't even open to send a message or receive a message or anything from that person.
Okay, so it's an Android user, I'm assuming? Or
Yeah, and I'm sending a message to them and it doesn't work at all. Like, it's frozen, even to compose a new message to them or anything.
have you ever been able to send a message to this person?
Yes, since like 5 months ago, and then it started with not being able to send attachments to this person, and now it's just like basically not letting me do anything with that person via text message.
Okay, anybody else have any help for Ibrahim? Anybody?
This is Shree.
Go ahead.
Abraham, are you able to send it to any other Android users?
Yes, the only problem I'm having with this one person, and every other Android person I'm sending to goes through fine. Everything's working fine.
This is
Is
Herbie.
it failing? I'm sorry. Is it
Oh, go
failing
ahead.
at your end or is it failing at the other end? Like,
It's not even. It's not letting me send or do anything on my end. They can send me messages and everything. That's fine. But when I click on whatever they send, it doesn't let me open it. VoiceOver just like hangs, like freezes completely. And also when I try to compose a new message to them, that doesn't work either. It doesn't open. This freezes as well. Doesn't let me send them any kind of message whatsoever.
Okay, Herbie, go ahead.
So, have you actually deleted like the actual message thread with that person?
It's a new message. I haven't been able to look at any messages in a while.
Right, but like the message conversation before you have you deleted that? Make sure that your message history with them is completely gone before sending a new message. Where you swipe down to delete on the conversation.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
It's not letting me do that at all. It's not letting me
This is
interact
Brad.
with messages
Hey,
from
Brad,
that person.
go ahead. Gotta wind it up.
There is a setting in your messages. Go to settings, messages, to allow you to use SMS.
Yeah.
You can turn that off so that all you can do is just send iMessage. You might want to go through your settings for your messages and make sure your ability to use regular SMS text messaging is turned on, because that's what you need. An Android user does not use iMessage, and that may be your issue.
All right. Okay. And with that, we are going to have to call it a day.
Wrap it up.
Thank you.
I see you guys in Clubhouse tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Brad, for helping.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Thank you.
As always.
All right, real quick recap. Tomorrow, iBUG Mini Buzz on Clubhouse from 5 to 6. And in the evening, iBUG Mac and Talk from 7 to 8:30 on Zoom, on this same Zoom conference line. Then on Thursday, it's iBUG's Live, talking about spring cleaning back here on Zoom from 6 to 8. Then iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies. We're going to be watching an Oscar nominee for Best Picture called Coda. CODA stands for Children of Deaf Adults. So should be very interesting. That's on Friday. Then Saturday's iBUG Night, iBUG Apple Workshop from 2 to 4. So we hope that you will come to any and all of these events. Love to have you. And thank y'all for coming and participating tonight for all the questions. And we are so grateful for your presence. And definitely check us out on our website. Definitely check out the drawing. And we will be back with you next week. So with that, we will say good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.